Hello there. Have you noticed I've been in the sun? Have you guys noticed that? How's it looking? Good, good. Anyway, we're not. By the way, it is lovely out there. I've got to say before we start, but we're not here to talk about the sun, unfortunately. But we're here to talk National League now. What can I say? I watched the results coming from last weekend, and I watched the TV game, and I said there'd be some surprises, didn't I? I wasn't surprised with everything that happened there in the National League. Dorking, well done to them. I think they did fantastic to come from 2 down to get a point against Chesterfield. And like I said, it's just so unpredictable as to what is going to happen. So now we're on to week 2. And again, please do not get mad at me if I, say your team won't win or they will win or anything like that. Then please do not, please do not come at me with any trouble. It's just my opinion, and like I said, unbiased opinion, I have to say. So shall we crack on with it rather than me waffling on like a madman? I think we should. So the first game in the National League this weekend is going to be Boreham Wood up against Notts County. Now, Notts County, they had a good win last weekend. A comfortable win in the end, a 3-0 win, which I believe I called, if I remember correctly. I think I called that, but a good 3-0 win for Notts County last weekend, and they're going to want to keep the form going, And again, didn't surprise me for them to get the win they got. And again, McCoy Longstaff is already becoming a fan favourite there. So, can he do it again against probably slightly more difficult opposition in Boreham Wood? Now, Boreham Wood is not an easy place to go to. They did recently sign Dion Kelly-Evans, but apparently he's not available for this game because he got sent off in Boreham Wood's last game, which happened to actually be a 1-0 win away at Southend. But it's just showing you, again, not necessarily scoring a great deal. I mean, Newton, and considering they did this with 9 men, they finished the game with 9 men and still got away with a win. And again, it just shows you how difficult they're going to be. They're going to be missing Unlove and Kelly-Evans for this. But I'm going to fancy Notts, but only just because, obviously, again, this is not going to be an easy game, especially at Boreham Wood. Boreham Wood are not easy to break down, but I'm basically going to give it to Notts County. I think I'm going to say 2-1 to Notts County against Boreham Wood. It should be an interesting game to see how that gets on. So 2-1 for me, for the Magpies, over Boreham Wood. Second game of the weekend is Bromley as they host Altrincham in a fixture that, it's going to be an interesting sort of situation. Bromley lost 3-2 to Wealdstone, which they won't be happy about, but they did get Michael Cheek back on the score sheet, opening his account for the season. And of course Altrincham, who, like I said, I do like me some Altrincham. They got a 1-1 draw against Maidstone. And do you know what? You've got to say Bromley need good home form, really. But like I said, getting Michael Cheek back on the score sheet, they've definitely got goals in them this year, Bromley, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, obviously scoring 2 away from home and then feeling like, well, you still haven't won even though you got 2 away from home. Michael Cheek scored and Solhull, the big, I believe he's 6'7", 6'8", Enoch Solhull. So, they've got some dangers there. I think Altrincham have got to be careful because Altrincham are, without a doubt, it's going to be tricky. I am going to fancy Bromley to win, I think, this weekend. I think Bromley will go on to I don't want to say comfortable. I don't want to say comfortable, but I think I will say comfortable. A 3-1 win for them over Altrincham. But like I said, you just never ever know. But 3-1 to Bromley for me. The third game of the weekend is Chesterfield hosting Aldershot. Now Chesterfield, when they woke up Sunday morning, I hope were fuming with themselves. 2-0 up against newly promoted Dorking and letting that slip. Not a good sign because they're now back at the Proact Stadium to try and rectify that. Hosting Aldershot, who Aldershot were, I'd say, unlucky in their first game. Well, I say unlucky. They were absolutely torn apart. Let me scrap what I've just said there. They were torn apart 4-1 by Solihull. So, Chesterfield are going to want to bounce back from this. You've got to think with the quality that Chesterfield has got that they will bounce back from this. And I am putting them to probably want to pretty much show Aldershot that, look, you don't want to meet Chesterfield if they lose. And I think Chesterfield will do a job over Aldershot, again with the quality that they have got. But they've got to try and not ship so many goals because, to this point, but I am going to go for a comfortable 3-0 win for Chesterfield against Aldershot in match number 3. In match number 4, Eastleigh up against Wealdstone. Now, Eastleigh, on the opening day, they got a 2-1 defeat at Wrexham, but they did go in front against Wrexham. It was a late win for Wrexham, but, so they've got a lot to be positive about, really. Going to Wrexham and really competing, it's something they should be confident about. Wealdstone, with that win over Bromley, that 3-2 win over Bromley, well done to them. Reece Brown in amongst the scorers. This is an interesting one. This is I'm going to call it a pick'em game, really. Do you know what? I'm going to go for Wealdstone to nick this. Probably a 2-1 win, I think, for Wealdstone. A draw is very much possible. But Wealdstone will want to keep that feeling, that bounce going. And I think Eastleigh, as much as it is not an easy place to go to, and it isn't. So they're going to want to lay a marker down. But I'm going to go for Wealdstone just to edge it. 2-1 for me. For Wealdstone against Eastleigh in match 4. We go on to match 5 now, and it's Halifax Town up against Torquay United. Now, last weekend's fixtures for both of these, Torquay, of course, got a 0-0 draw with newly relegated Oldham, and Halifax, obviously Halifax lost 2-0 at Barnet. So, not the best of starts for either side. The Shea is a very, very difficult place to go to. So Torquay will know that. But again, Torquay are a very, very difficult side to shake off. And Sorry, Halifax, but I'm going to go for an away win here. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Torquay. Again, it's that Gary Johnson nous that he's got. He knows how to squeak results. I mean, obviously they're going to want to bounce back from their defeat, obviously. Their draw. They're going to want to build on that then. Apologies, I got the result wrong again. But, I just fancy Torquay, again, just, is it going to be Gary time again, They never give in, they never give up, and I think they're going to want to try and lay down a marker this week. So I'm saying Halifax Town 0, Torquay United 2. I know they do have big money at Halifax, and, like I say, it's not the biggest goal scorer, but he's always a threat. But 2-0 to Torquay for me. Gateshead hosting Barnet this weekend. Now, Barnet obviously coming off that 2-0 success. Well done to them. They've made a much better start this season than they did last. But let's give some credit to Gateshead, actually, because they got a 2-2 draw at Dagenham and Redbridge. Now, they lost their two main talismen to Notts County over the summer. And I think everyone thought, well, because they'd lost those two, they're bound to struggle. Where are the goals going to come from for Gateshead? Well, they quickly eradicated that with Blackett and Campbell both scoring the goals for Gateshead. And very nearly getting the win, with Moraes getting the goal in injury time for Dagenham to squeak a draw. This is not going to be an easy game, but do you know what? I'm going to give Gateshead this. I'd love to see Gateshead get a win, because they're the ones that people are saying, oh, they've lost their main strikers. Can they do it without Longstaff and that? So we'll have to wait and see. But I do think this is tough, because Barnet obviously having the home win last time out, they're going to feel like, we can build on that. I'm going to go for home advantage, though, just for Gateshead. I'm going to basically say a 2-1 win for Gateshead over Barnet. And to me, I think it's possible, but we'll see how it goes. But Gateshead 2, Barnet 1 for me. Next, we move on to Maidenhead hosting Scunthorpe. Maidenhead having a bit of a disaster to start the season with a 3-0 defeat at Notts County, while Scunthorpe came away with a good, tough, hard-fought 2-1 win over Yeovil in last weekend's TV game, which is going to obviously give Keith Hill's men a lot of confidence. And I think at the minute they're probably hitting Maidenhead at the right time, because they'll be shaken from that loss to Notts County. But I do think that Scunthorpe, they did look good. As painful as that is for me as a Gunsbury fan to say, they did look good against Yeovil. They showed some fight and some some real toughness. I fancy him to go to Maidenhead and win. Maidenhead's never an easy place to go to, though. Away, you'd probably definitely fancy him. I am going to go for a Scunthorpe win, though. I'm going to go for Maidenhead 0, Scunthorpe United 2. I just think Scunthorpe, again with Keith Hill being such an experienced manager, I think it could help them go into a ground like this. But again, Scunthorpe, I believe, have to score early. I think if they can score early and not let Maidenhead get a feeling into the game, then they could easily run away with it. But I'm saying 2-0 to Scunthorpe. 2 wins out of 2 for the Iron, eh? Didn't think I'd be saying that, but 2 out of 2 for Scunthorpe United. Next we have Maidstone against York City. Now York City are my surprise packages of the season, I think. I think with what they've got actually in the building, I think they really could cause some problems. And with a 2-0 win over Woking last time out at the LNER Stadium, you're thinking, maybe. In Maidstone, though, are getting a creditable draw at Altrincham last time out, 1-1 there, showing some mettle, I would say. I don't think Mason's going to be an easy place to go to. I think York and John Askey have got to be ready for a battle there. And I expect nothing less. But I am going to go for a York City win. I don't think it's going to be straightforward. So much so I'm only going to give it a narrow win for York City. I'm going to go for Maidstone United 1, York City 2. I noticed so far I haven't gone for a draw yet. I've noticed that. Could that be coming? I'll let you know. And I think it'll be a good game between the two, but I think York will just squeak it 2-1. Next we have Solihull Moors up against Southend. Now this one, Southend with a disappointing defeat on the opening day. And Solihull with that thumping win on the opening day, that 4-1 win against Aldershot. Southend will definitely look like a better side this year. I still say they'll be more than okay, and they could still challenge at the top end. At the minute, do you really want to be going to Solihull, though? I mean, Solihull, if they're not challenging for the title this year, I'll be absolutely stunned. I do fancy Solihull to win against Southend. This one's going to be short and sweet for me. I'm saying Solihull 2, Southend United 0. Southend fans, please do not get at me. I just like Solihull, and I think that they're going to be thereabouts, even for the title. I believe Solihull. I know I've got Wrexham to win the league, but I think Solihull will definitely push him. I think they're one of the best teams to push them. So I'm saying not an easy win. None of these games will be easy. But I think Solihull will get a 2-0 win over Southend United. But I think Southend, believe me, will start coming good. I think Mayer's got a very good side there. So I don't expect it to be too long before they get their first win. Next, Woking up against Dagenham and Redbridge. Now, Woking are very disappointed, I think, to lose to York on the opening day. Dagenham will feel quite probably a bit fortunate to get a draw late on, 2-2. So they'll be thankful, but they'll feel like it's something to build on at least. Woking have got some good players in this season. Dagenham, a great squad again, a squad I expect to be challenging. I'm probably gonna edge just Dagenham. I say that I'm gonna go 3-1 Dagenham. I just think Dagenham, with the firepower that the Daggers have got, I think they will cause Woking some real trouble. But Woking have got some good players, so we'll have to wait and see. But I'm going Woking 1, Dagenham Redbridge 3. Next, we've got Yeovil up against Wrexham. There's been a rumour this week about Chris Hargreaves supposedly wanting to offer his resignation as he had doubts at the very beginning. I don't know how true that is. I can't imagine Chris going in just right at the beginning and then going. Now maybe losing Knowles last week from under his nose to Walsall, that maybe has something to do with it, if there's any truth to it. Against Wrexham, though, Sorry, Chris, but I can't really see you getting a result here against Wrexham. I'm going to go another 3-1. In fact, I think Wrexham will get past Yeovil, but I don't think it won't be an easy game by any means. Chris Hargreaves always has a trigger to up his sleeve, but I'm saying Yeovil 1, Wrexham 3, and the final game is the TV game, the BT Sport game. Kicks off at 5:20. It's Oldham Athletic against Dorking Wanderers, a former Sunday League team, which Dorking is, and you've got to really give Dorking a lot of credit for what they've been able to do. I know I put them to possibly just about get relegated this season. Doesn't mean they're going to be rollovers. I don't think there's going to be any rollovers in this. Oldham obviously getting that 0-0 draw on the opening day. They're going to want to start their campaign at home with a win. I don't think it's going to be straightforward. I do fancy Oldham to do it. I'm going to say 2-0 to Oldham. But it wouldn't surprise me if one of the lesser sides did get a result. So, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was Dorking on TV. The pressure's going to be on Oldham. It's funny, isn't it? A former Premier League side plays a former Sunday League side. That's the national, that's the National League for you. But Dorking have shown that, they're going to give a good fist to this. I don't think there's going to be any cutaway this year, really. We'll have to wait and see. But I am saying 2-1 to Oldham Athletic against Dorking. Have you guys noticed I haven't gone for a draw this week? Watch this. This means about eight of the games will be draws now. I've said that. But they're my predictions for week 2 in the National League. Let me know down below what you think will happen with your team. If you are going to a game at the weekend, do go and enjoy it and support your team like you've never supported them before. And leave me your comments down below and give me some of that National League banter, which I know flies around. And I will see you guys very soon for the next one. And so please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon. Ciao for now, guys. Ciao for now.